Queer Geek Frost. Hi, my name is Anna and I'm a singer.
Hi, my name is Peyton and I am a dancer.
And today, what are we doing today?
Today, we are back. Not for a good reaction, not for a great reaction, but for a marvelous reaction to Mireille Sonyeon.
Yeah, so we're reacting to Mireille's comeback called Marvelous, hence Peyton's pun in the introduction. But you know us, and obviously we watched the teaser in advance for this, and the album spoiler one was actually really, really cool. It was like Netflix trailers. But because of that, we kind of know what to expect. So that being said, let us just go! This is very different from the teaser.
I was like, oh, this is not what I was expecting.
But I guess it's their storyline.
Yeah. And it was space, and there was space in the teaser.
What is that supposed to be?
I don't know. Oh, he's got freckles! Yay.
Oh, there's no subtitles available at the moment.
Have you seen this boy?
So is Dongpyo the missing boy? Because he was holding the...
This is like...
in the background.
This is like the closest I think they will get to a cutesy concept.
Yeah. The wow wow in the background is spacey. He's literally right behind them.
Missing boy!
아 귀여워 근데. Oh, there was something with their feet.
There's a lot of like partner stuff in this from what I can tell. Or like, not a partner, interacting.
Oh, there's like a silence gap.
It's different. The chorus is different. The dance.
Oh.
Yeah. Their isolation.
This part is more grounded. Oh. 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 That line. It's like something lurking. Ominous.
Dance break, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Oh.
Is this some sort of reference to like an alien that's like stuck, like a little alien boy or something?
I feel like yes. Because that's what I've been thinking this whole time. It feels like a decom.
Aw. And now they're on a planet? On Mars?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh. What is this referencing?
So was that all the past? Because it's hung up on his wall, so that's all the past? What we are seeing?
How does this relate to the other storylines?
I don't know.
Is he an alien?
Maybe.
They're so cute. Oh my god.
Okay, Peyton, tell us how you feel. Yes.
I will! I have a lot to say and not a lot of time, so I'm gonna jump right into it, starting with the fact that at the very end, Anna told me to tell everyone how I feel. So I will tell you all how I feel, and it's that I was so excited for this because I am so fond, and I have to eat up some of my comment time just to say this because that's how fond I am of this group. I got so into them after Splash. I checked right before we recorded this. Splash and Hashtag Secret, one of the B-sides, are still on my on repeat playlist on Spotify. That's how much I listen to it. I've watched all of their content. Miresoñan is like one of the rookie boy groups that I'm keeping my eye on personally, so I was super excited for this. Anyways, I will stop there for my personal rant and move on to the concept and the dance. So let's talk about the concept. Like I said in the reaction, this is probably the closest that Miresoñan is going to get to their like cutesy concept that Anna and I talk a lot about. Like K-pop rookie boy groups have to do a cute concept within a couple of comebacks, and this sort of ticks that box, although it's not over the top cutesy like you might expect from some rookie boy groups. I think this fits though, and the reason for that is, one, as a group, they do have a bit of an age range. Like the oldest member is Anna's age, Leanne is 98, and the youngest member is 04, Yubin. Like some of the older members wouldn't fit a really cutesy concept, it'd be a little bit awkward, but also just overall, you're very cute. Anyways. But overall, their like group concept is also just a bit darker, so this strays away from that, but it still like stays within their storyline universe. That concept influences the dance. The quality for it overall is really interesting because it is definitely lighter than previous releases, especially compared to Splash, which was very like weighted and like turbulent because it had the water concept, but it's not like floaty. Because usually when you do cutesy concepts, you actually pull back on the amount of choreography in the dance because you're trying to put space in between movements to make this more buoyant feeling. This one is very energetic, but there's so much movement in it. That being said, it does stay lighter just because of how they have changed the way they're directing their energy. So in Killa and in Splash, they were very grounded and they were sort of sending energy through the floor to stay connected. Whereas in dance, you like are always told by your teachers to imagine energy coming up through your spine out the top of your head, and you really get that feeling in this. Like they're very lifted when they're dancing, and you're also seeing accent changes. So there are a lot of jumps in this, which people might say like, oh yeah, of course, because it's lighter, but there were jumps in Splash and Killa too. It's just that in those, the accents were always on the down, on the landing, whereas here everything is accented on the up or on the out. So it's really interesting to see that. It's also really impressive, honestly, because they keep that light feeling while keeping a ton of movement that's happening really rapid succession. Like the point choreography, I would say, and this is a really good example on the mama mama mama, where they're doing simultaneously a heel leg rotation out this way, a chest isolation that goes into a body roll this way, and pointing that way. So there's like a lot of different energy being sent. They're keeping every movement from like bleeding into each other. They can keep it separate while still doing it quickly and keeping the energy up. So it's really impressive, and it also shows a lot of growth because, especially, I mentioned their isolations in the reaction, I could tell how much they had improved even since Splash, because in Splash with their isolations, I'm thinking of like the shoulder movement, you could see the varying dance levels, whereas here all of those isolations, when they're doing like just moving their chest or just moving their like arm, their foot, it's a lot more uniform across the board. So I really like to see that because there's this common misconception that in cuter concepts you don't see as much growth, or like they're not as difficult, but like that's not true, and this is a really good example of that. Like there's still growth in this concept. But my last comment is just that, like, more than cute, I think in my mind I see this as very like playful and like energetic and almost mischievous, especially in the way they're interacting with each other on stage. Like Anna pointed out the foot thing, and when I just watched part of the live stage, I actually noticed like there's so much interaction in this, and it's so cute. A couple of my favorites were the beginning when Junhyuk like plays the drums on Xiang's hand, or my like all-time favorite is actually the finger thing where you said, "What is this?" I see that as almost like when you cross your fingers when you're telling a lie or something, which I think kind of goes with the storyline. Like they're keeping it like secret because they start and end the dance like that, like almost like a, oh, like, are we really telling you the truth? Like, what's happening? So I just really liked it, but I talked for way too long. I'm not really like gonna say sorry because I have more to say, but I loved it. I love them. Anna's turn.
After all of that, it is now time for my comments. Hello. I guess to start off, saying something similar to what Peyton said, like, yeah, this is their obligatory cutesy concept. It's not really cute. It's more like playful, mischievous, lighter, brighter. Also, after you said the more playful thing, I was thinking, is this music video like The Lost Boys but space? That theory aside, talking about the music though, for the more playful feeling, there's a lot of distorted synth usage in this, which is also very true to like the Mira sound that they've established so far with their other title tracks, but with a lighter song the synths that they're using are lighter in this one. That's not to say that there isn't still like a strong bass present, because there is, but from my memory of their past title tracks, the synth usage in this one is a lot more rhythmic, and it's not as like deep, heavy bass as it has been in the past. Also, this song has a lot of like little ornamental synths that you hear, kind of sound effecty. You'll hear them a lot at like the end of a phrase, like a here, but also like switching up the song a little bit more. I pointed out the little pockets of silence in the instrumental that you hear. Like one place where it happens is after the pre-chorus into the chorus drop, all the instrumental cuts out, but like the voice is still singing above it, but it still like gives a little bit of a break, keeps the song more interesting when you're talking about like how a song flows, so it's not overly repetitive. But other ways that they make the song more interesting, switching things up, the bridge section was so cool when it turns more ominous, because they cut out the instrumental that they've been playing this whole time before, so it's just the bass and then the melody line sung by the voice and then a harmony vocal line on top of it, and the voice is moving by half steps. Chromaticism, which makes things feel more like creepy, lurking in the shadows, but also because it's like so bare bones compared to like what just happened, and it's a very sudden transition from the chorus into the beginning of the bridge section. It's even more like catching you off guard. So I thought it was really cool, is what I'm saying. The last main comment that I wanted to say though was, I mentioned this to Peyton before we started our comments after we finished writing our notes down. They have background vocals in this, yes, besides the harmonies. A lot of their vocals in this are very a cappella-like. And what I mean by that is they're very percussive, like used in a percussive manner to outline the beat, which I actually think ties into the feeling of how this song is lighter than their past title tracks, because they're using other instruments like the voice or just other instruments as well to establish the beat that are lighter and like higher than in their past title tracks. Percussive a cappella-like background vocals. One example of this is like the dance break section. You hear these ahs in the background, and oh my god, I'm like taken aback because I've literally written this into an arrangement before. Like the exact thing that they did is that they do repeated ahs on the offbeat. So in 4/4 time, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're going so it's like keeps it more rhythmic. It's being used in a percussive manner, as you can see. And then also another example is just what you're hearing in the chorus. It's not really background, but the mais that they're singing, and then I think it's na, ma ma ma, and then na na na. The way that it's repeated is very percussive as well, since it's like being repeated on the same note. Those are all of my comments. That's all I have to say. Peyton, do you want a TLDR?
Yes.
I knew you were gonna ask.
So, TLDR for this reaction is, first and foremost, Mireille Sonyeon, congratulations on another marvelous comeback. I've been waiting to make these puns since they announced the name of the song. But really, like, this comeback is, in fact, marvelous. They have showed a lot of growth while also showing a new side to themselves. It's lighter, it's more energetic, it's very playful. The storyline clearly drew us in because we were trying to figure it out the whole time what was going on. And I think we're both pretty excited to see how the promotions go and what they have in store for us. I also have, like, a full essay on this dance that I had to not say, so if anyone wants to hear more about it, let me know. I'll put it in the comments. Yes. I love them.
That being said though, if you would like to talk with us more about Mireille Sonyeon, about space, about anything really, feel free to reach out to us on our socials, which are linked in the cards. And as always, if you enjoyed this reaction video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and bye!
Bye!